My name's attorney Manny Serra of the Rossen Law Firm. So why did an officer make me do field sobriety exercises during a DUI investigation? The answer to that is an officer can't make you do the exercises. They're voluntary field sobriety exercises in the state of Florida. So you have every right to tell an officer you're not going to participate in these voluntary exercises. Now, what an officer will tell you is that I am going to base my opinion to arrest you based upon everything that has led me up until this point, and I'm going to use your decision whether to participate or not in my investigation on the totality of the circumstances to determine whether I can make an arrest or not. I would love my clients at that point to ask, I'm asking you right now, have you made your decision to arrest me or not? Because certainly that can be played back in court on a video camera or dash camera and be fantastic. But an officer can't make you do those exercises. In fact, the officer asking you to do them has to have enough reasonable suspicion to believe that you're DUI at that point or probable cause. At that point, the officer doesn't need to make you do those exercises or see the results of them because he or she already believes there's probable cause to arrest you. A lot of times if an officer has reasonable suspicion that you're DUI and needs to take it to that next level in order to make that arrest, how do they do that? They do that by putting you through these exercises that are nearly impossible to get perfectly done. They say that they saw signs of impairment, you failed to follow directions, had imbalance, whatever it is. There's a whole lot of clues that they're trained to look for there. And then they subsequently make the arrest, saying that they had enough probable cause at some point during those field sobriety exercises. So I often get asked the question, can I still be arrested even if I passed my field sobriety exercises? And just so you're aware, there's a giant misconception. There is no pass or fail in the state of Florida. What happens is an officer bases their decision to arrest you for the crime of DUI based upon the totality of the circumstances. And those totality of the circumstances are not just limited to the field sobriety exercises. They're also done in comparison or in conjunction with your driving pattern, your speech, where you were coming from, where you were going to. So a lot of that is really what's taken into the equation. And so the short answer to the long question is that yes, even if you pass your field sobriety exercises, an officer can still arrest you. But that doesn't mean that it can't be challenged in court. So you can challenge an officer's arrest of you for the crime of DUI by challenging whether he or she had enough probable cause to arrest you. And certainly if there's a video showing you doing fantastically well on these voluntary field sobriety exercises that are standing on one leg for 30 seconds, closing your eyes, tilting your head back, putting your right tip of your finger to the very tip of your nose, then your left one, walking in a straight line, heel to toe, arms by your side, looking like you're a tightrope walker, right? You can challenge all of that and present it to the judge and say, based upon these totality of the circumstances in the video that's presented to you, judge, my client very clearly passed these exercises and the officer did not have enough probable cause to believe that their normal faculties were impaired. Because remember, your normal faculties are your ability to walk, talk, judge distances, act in times of emergency, operate a motor vehicle. Things like that are what officers are trying to test during these field sobriety exercises. And if we can show that during that test, those exercises, you did well and showed a heightened ability of coordination, of walking, of talking, of following directions, then the state's going to be on the hook for a very, very weak case. And so I like seeing, obviously, when someone passes those exercises. You'll hear a lot of lawyers say, he looks good or she looks good on exercise. Very rarely are you going to hear lawyers say, oh, she passed or he passed their exercises. If you hear that, that's a red flag. The lawyer's using a language that's not commonly used in our field.